Okay, so this will be the explanation for the example with the UIs for the skills. So we have some skills that have cooldown, and you have some UI that will let us know if those skills are all cooldown or not. So in this case, I created some visual effects so we can see those skills happening. When I press on, I actually spawn some visual effects. So as you can see, we have this loading effect on the UI. So let's look at how that works. So we have a canvas that's on top of everything, so overlay. And we have, let me see, yes, you have a holder for these, and we use the horizontal layout group to make sure that these UIs for the skills are at equal distance from each other. Now these have yes, these have a script on them. Now let's look at how the elements of one of these UIs. So we have the background here, we have the icon. So if I disable this icon, you see we have the semi-transparent darkened the same image but in black and transparency. So this is just an image, the background in simple mode, but the icon of the skill is in field mode. So we can have this field effect while the skill is under cooldown. And then we have a holder for this number. So that's the number of the skill. So it's just a black image with text that will hold the number. So let's look at the script that creates that loading effect for the skills. So we need the image of the skill icon. We have a cooldown and a counter. So by because at the start of the scene the skill is not under cooldown, it's ready to be used, we say that the counter is equal to the cooldown. And then we get the image by script because this script is actually on that image, on the skill icon. And then in the update, if the counter is smaller than the cooldown, so in other words, if the skill is under cooldown, we just count time in that variable. And then we set the fill amount of the image to the counter divided by the cooldown. Okay, and we make sure that that's between 0 and 1. So that's what mathf clamp is. So it takes a value, in this case the counter divided by the cooldown, and make sure it's between these two values, 0 and 1 in this case. So because when this is no longer true, this if statement, when the counter is bigger or equal than the cooldown, it's actually bigger than the cooldown. So that means this here will be bigger than 1. So that's why we have to make sure here that it's between 0 and 1. And also, let me tell you another thing, this mathf clamp. If the value is smaller than the minimum, it will return the minimum, and if it's bigger than the maximum, it will return the maximum. So in other words, in this case, if this is smaller than 0, it will return 0. If it's bigger than 1, it will return 1. In this case, we only care because this sometimes is bigger than 1, so we want to make sure that it's 1. So that's for the skill UI. Now this is a script that we use to use the skills. So we have an array of those skill UIs. So we have the script for each UI, and then we have the visual effects for each one. We have an array of effects here, and then in the update we check for input. So if it's 1, we spawn the first skill. If it's 2, we spawn the second, and so on. And we have a function for that. And in that function, we have a parameter skill index. So we decide which skill to spawn. So in here we make sure we check if the skill is under cooldown or not. So if the fill amount of the icon is 1, then it's not under cooldown, and in that case we can spawn our effect here. So we spawn it. In this case, just at the position of the wizard here, and then we reset the counter of that skill UI script. So the fill now is 0. So that's everything about this.